Hey everyone, Adam here. Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be going over how to test your Facebook ads, how to do creative testing, all of that good stuff. We're going to be covering it all in detail and also go over exact examples of how to, creative tests and also where to get inspiration from. There's infinite amount of inspiration. It's literally everywhere. There's constant new ideas being out there. So I'm going to teach you how to stay on top of it. And so you want to stay tuned all the way to the end. If you haven't heard of me before, my name is Adam Matthews. I've been in the e-commerce space for literally over 6.5 years now, since January of 2017, and run a company called AQM, which is an e-commerce growth agency that basically partners with 6 to 8 figure e-commerce brands, helping them grow, get to that next level. And we've also helped over a dozen brands, to scale to over $100,000 per month. And with that out of the way, let's get straight into the content. So first and foremost, before we even get into, testing Facebook ads, it should be a good question to ask of when you launch an ad, what's it going on? The answer is it's going on to an auction. Okay. And this is basically how it works. I'm not sure if you've seen this before, but basically how it all works behind the scenes is it maps out these values right here, and whoever has the total value wins the auction. Okay. So it's very important what goes into this before you even start launching and testing ads. Okay. So basically what goes into it, it's this maximizing advertising value plus optimizing consumer experience equals total value. So the advertiser bid. Now, most of the time, if you are going to be launching, I'd honestly recommend automatic bidding. I don't really like manual bidding, to be honest, but this is what they take into account when an advertiser is willing to pay to get a click, a view, or even a sale. Most of the time, it's going to do that for you automatically. However, there is manual bidding, and that gets factored into the auction, of course. Estimate action rates. These two are very important. So an estimate of whether a particular person engages with or converts from a particular ad. In other words, the probability that showing an ad to a person leads to that desired outcome of the advertiser. So very, very important. You nailed that. Without a doubt. And same thing with ad quality. So a measure of, so basically user value, in other words, ad quality, is really the measure of the quality of the ad as determined from many sources, including feedback from people viewing or hiding the ad, which, whenever you get your ads, hidden, or they're like, why am I seeing this? And they're not happy with it. One, your targeting's off, your creative isn't good, and that just ruins your user value. Okay. And assessments of low quality attributes in the ad, such as withholding information, sensationalized language, and engagement bait. There's just so many different things about it, but at the end of the day, it gets marked down by basically CPM, how much it's costing to show your ad to 1,000 people, and they take all this in consideration. If you're telling the platform that you want conversions and sales, and you're sending people off their platform, and you're not doing that at a good enough rate, they're just going to slowly keep charging you more and more and more. And if you're giving the users, which that's all they care about, Meta only cares about the users. They do not care about the advertisers whatsoever, because there's literally millions, or 7 million advertisers at this point, I think. And there's, all they care about is the users. They don't really care about the advertisers, to be honest. So you need to make sure you give the users an amazing experience all the way through, from seeing the ad to going to the landing page, the site, the product pages, experiencing the product, because now it's feedback scores after. So you can't hide it. You need a good experience all throughout. Otherwise, it's just not going to be long-term sustainable. They're going to charge you more and more and more, and you definitely don't want that. So that's something to note. Now, in terms of testing, the lens we always view it through is we want to make sure we're testing multiple ad formats and really doubling, tripling down on what's performing the best. So we want to test out static, so basically single images. We want to test out video, and tons of different videos as well. Carousels can do really, really well. Swimwear, fashion brands, just anything like that. Carousels can do really, really well. And same thing with catalogs. If you have a ton of different SKUs, you'll want to basically set up a catalog that dynamically basically showcase your products to cold traffic. They do really, really well. So you want to test out all 4 of them. Okay. So you don't want to just, limit yourself and only be testing statics or only be testing videos and don't think that anything else can work. You want to throw in a mix of them and really doubling down, tripling down on what's doing well. And in some cases, all of them work. So in that case, just launch more of all the ad formats. Audience research. This is very, 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 very crucial. You need to understand your target audience really, really well. And the way you do that is you go through reviews. So all of your reviews, you go through competitor reviews, all that good stuff. And what you're looking for is both the emotional and logical reasons of why they're buying. And you want to just list them out, just literally list out all the things of why people are buying. And if it is showing up multiple times, you want to maybe tally it or make sure like to highlight it to make sure that it's super important that people are just constantly keep talking about this same thing over and over. And you can really just kind of really take note of that and make sure your marketing resembles one, basically the target audience, like language, how they speak, right? You know, a 40-year-old mother is going to talk a lot different than an 18-year-old male, as an example. You know what I mean? There's going to be different language. Or fishers are going to be talking different than, I don't know, tech enthusiasts. You know what I mean? There's so much language and nuance in each audience and niche. So it really comes down to the research, which leads you to the second part is the articles. You can go through articles on the niche and you learn all of that. Obviously, if you are the niche and you understand it, you're all set with that. But it's a really handy spot. And also competitors and seeing what kind of angles are they using? How are they speaking in their ads? What's working best? All that sort of stuff. Not to say that you want to completely copy them, but you just want to see what's working and how to differentiate your brand, your marketing from theirs. You definitely do not want to copy because that's not going to get you very far. Let me tell you that. You also want to test multiple different angles. So, and by angles, I mean from your research, you gather in all of the different pain points, desires that they have. You gather like all the different like reasons why they're buying, emotional, logical reasons, everything they're talking about. And you want to make sure you're testing the different angles, in the form of, highlighting desires, highlighting pain points, incorporating in social proof, maybe telling a story, et cetera, et cetera. There's, these are just some examples here, but you want to be testing multiple different angles. That is so crucial. You do not want to just stick with one main angle and just never testing anything else out, because that is just it's a recipe for disaster. You definitely need to understand and make sure you're testing multiple angles, and then keep testing more and more angles as you go along. So it's a never-ending game. So here's a couple of examples to show you what ad testing would look like. Okay, so one way you can go about it is you can do 2 different headlines. We like to launch 4 ads at a time. That's kind of our sweet spot that we like to do. That way it just gives each ad set, each campaign, a lot to work with. So this is an example here. So this one has 2 different headlines, or like 2 different body copy essentially, and then 2 different pieces of content. So you can see here we have a carousel for each, and then we have a video for each. So for the video, we have 2 different pieces of ad copy. One of them shorter, kind of just highlights over. I actually showed this one in a previous video, but it's basically a founder story video. Okay, and it says, check out our story on us moving into 1960s Greyhound bus and starting a natural skincare brand while on the road. Okay, so once you read that, you're kind of hooked in. You're like, whoa, I want to check out the story on that. And this one here, it goes off a little bit more of a long form, kind of hooks the audience in, really talks about the benefits of the brand. And really, like if you read through all this, you're going to be pretty sold on the brand and the products and all that kind of stuff. And you go through the video, you're like, wow, okay, you know the story, all the unique, selling points, all the benefits of the products and the brand. You're like, holy smokes. And that one did really, really well. What ended up doing better was this, and honestly, we just let the video do the selling. But that's why it comes down to testing. You don't want to just do one piece of ad copy. You want to test out multiple and different angles, right? Like you can see here they're vastly different. And you can see here, this one we had the same ad copy as this one, and then we also split tested it with this one here with whether your skin is dry, oily, a combination, or sensitive. We have a natural skincare products formulated from the forest to suit your needs. Okay, so it's kind of like whether you're dealing with this, or this, we have the solution, right? So whereas this one's it kind of hooks you in with like imagine, and just gets you kind of getting kind of thinking creatively and thinking about the solution and all that good stuff. So both of them actually ended up working quite well. But yeah, this is an example. This is another example right here. So this is one main piece of ad copy and 4 pieces of content. Okay, so you can see here we have the same. I had my doubts, especially with the price, but wow, I've ordered 4 more after the first 2. So you can see here we do 4 different photo ads with the one main piece of ad copy. Because say for instance this ad on the far right wins, which it actually was the best one. If there was different ad copy for every single one, we wouldn't really know what the winner is, right? So that's why we go ahead and we test out, a bunch of different ones with the same ad copy, if that makes sense. And same thing with this one here, because this one, the 2 creatives, they have different ad copy on them. We know if one of them wins, then we know it's that creative, right? So it's not like we have different ad copy on every single one. So that's kind of something to know. Now you might be wondering, where do I get inspiration for these? How do I find like what's the next best, greatest thing out there? Well, let me tell you, there's a few different ways. Okay. One is foreplay. Okay. So this is, and not the sexual foreplay I'm talking about. I'm talking about this really cool software here called Foreplay. And you can see this one here. It's actually really, really cool. I love what they're going on. They're constantly working on the software really well. And I love what they got going on. It's actually a great software. I'd highly vouch for it. I'm not affiliated with them by any means, even though maybe I should be. But yeah, I just love the software. It's great. You can see here on the Discovery New Ads today, they have this section here, which is really, really cool. You can see what's trending right off the bat, right on your homepage. You can see boom, 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 5 ads, just like that. What's trending right now. And then they have the Discovery. And also what's really nice too is you can actually go on the ad library, which I'll show you in a second. And you can actually save the ads straight from there, and then boom, it goes right into your swipe file, and it saves everything here. So yeah, it's just super handy, and you have a bunch of different filters that you can use. You can do it by format, by platform, language, status, niche. You can also do the AI search. So let's just say you're selling, I don't know, plants as an example. So you can just type in plants if you wanted to, and then it's going to show you a bunch of plant ads that were saved by the community. So it's really, really cool. And there's other filters as well. We usually like to make sure that it's just English, because you can see here, this looks German right there. Let's do English. And then platform status. I like to have still running. And then sort by. You can also, I like this one too, longest running, because then you know if it's an ad's running for a long time, probably works quite well, right? So while this is loading up, that's the first way. Foreplay is really good. Honestly, I highly recommend it. So that's the first way. And then another one is like grabbing a Google Doc and just marking down all the brands that you like to benchmark ads off of. Like I just write them down. This is a 22-page doc of all of the brands that we like to benchmark ads off, and it just goes straight to an ad library. And you can see, actually that one hasn't been updated. This one's doing really well. Pillowcase, 2,400 ads. And you can see, and what I like to do too as well is you scroll. This one's going to take a while, 2,400 ads. But you scroll down further and you see what's been running for a while. Oh yeah, actually, and make sure they're active. So if I scroll up, active, and you can see here, April 21st, 2023, active. Okay, so this ad is working, right? And you can kind of see that. You can go summary details and get a whole glimpse of all that. So that's how you kind of stay up to date. Just mark them all down. Another way, which works really, really well, is D2C Twitter. So there's different people you can follow. You can see here this girl, Social Savannah, shout out. Great content and everything. She just shows like, hey, here's one simple trick to make your ads look more genuine. Film the ad in your car. And then she just shows an example there, gets a bunch of engagement. Here's an idea for your next hook. And then kind of talks about writing it down on the chalkboard. You know what I mean? Just a different way of like a different visual. Dan Reagan talking about, virtual split screen is crushing right now in UGC ads. And you can see here, which man are you, Dr. Squash or Body Wash. It's literally a 3-second ad, and it's working really well. So that's how I stay up to date. Twitter, really, really good. I have this huge doc that I go through, and then also Foreplay works really, 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 really well. By the way, if you're watching this and you have your own e-commerce brand and you are doing at least $10,000 per month, and you're kind of struggling with testing and growth and all that sort of stuff, I'm going to leave a link in the description, first link in the description, and that will take you to our wonderful website where you can actually book a chat with myself personally, and we can kind of take a look, do a bit of an audit, and see what you're going on right now. Put together a bit of a growth plan for you here in Q4 and beyond. You don't have to click it. I don't mind if you do or not, but if you're struggling with growth and you're doing at least $10,000 a month, definitely feel free to check that out. But that about wraps it up. If you liked the video, definitely give it a thumbs up, and also let me know what kind of content you want to see going forward. Any video ideas, drop them down in the comments below. Let me know what you still want to see from me. So always looking to respond to those and get back to those whenever I can. But yeah, that about wraps it up. I appreciate you making it all the way to the end. I really appreciate you. Really appreciate you staying all the way to the end. But yeah, that about wraps it up. So I'll see you in the next video. Cheers for watching.